how common is a router refresh in an organization? What's the typical time between refreshes, and what requirements are going to drive those refreshes? Any of you happen to have run through that in recent enough memory to talk through it?
I can tell you from personal experience, part of the reason that pushed my company towards SD-WAN was the fact that we were running 10-year-old 1841 routers, and it was just time.
Yeah, it's going to depend on the organization. Some organizations are like on a 5-year life cycle. Some are 7 years, 10 years. Some just go, until it breaks. So depends on the organization and how much they're working with things like compliance and security and end of life, end of support. And also you have like the depreciation factor. So if you're writing it off on 5 years or 7 years or whatever.
Yeah, we just wound up doing a job for somebody, and this was one of the main findings is, okay, a bunch of your infrastructure is pretty old here, and there's a good percentage of it that's end of support or past end of support. So what does end of support mean for your particular vendor? Go take a look. And does that mean that all security updates have stopped? All right, so any vulnerabilities that are found in your product don't get patched. Is that how you want to run your organization?
So I think we got a lot of good ideas there put in, and just to drill in specifically on the time between refreshes. I mean, it's going to vary so widely. Jed, you were mentioning 1841s. Well, those were a lot cheaper of a buy than a 2000 or a 3000 series from Cisco of that era, for example. So what was the depreciation on that? Maybe if it was a 3800 series that they spent 2, 3, 4 times on, they'd want to have it hanging around longer because they depreciated it longer. Other than that, it goes back to, it's been 10 years, it's time. And then then if the answer is SD-WAN, then you're looking at, maybe you're not refreshing the router exactly, you're replacing it with an SD-WAN appliance, possibly. So
yeah, the financial people will want to drive that figure out. They like to go to 7 years or potentially more, but 5 years is kind of a good intermediate. You can do that and get away with it. And the financial people are, they'll squeak a bit, but generally they're okay with that sort of period.
And Jed, for you, it sounded like, or the organization, it wasn't necessarily just about time. It was about capabilities and features that you wanted as well.
Yeah, definitely. Originally, like most people moving to SD-WAN, there's the thought of potentially saving money going from MPLS to broadband, but ultimately what we gained was a higher level of reliability overall.
Any of the refreshes I've ever seen or heard about or been experienced in usually comes down to one of two things. Like you have a triggering event, massive outage, some sort of something happened that was negative and now we need to update and fix our stuff. Or there is some sort of new requirement or new change that the routers and the infrastructure can't handle. So now we need to update our gear. We need to take care of something new. Kind of like Ethan mentioned with the SD-WAN coming along. Okay, we're doing that. Or we're doing brand new circuits and we need to do new routers. Or even as Terry mentioned, we have this security vulnerability that we are very paranoid about, and this router is not going to be able to handle it, so we need to refresh. Something's triggering that refresh there. And anywhere between 2 and 15 years.
That's right.